Hey, football fans, welcome back to another episode of Lions Latest, the show where we gather around and talk about the greatest team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. I'm your host, Bryan Hanes, and we have some stuff to go over and some updates to review, so let's just jump straight into the video. First of all, I want to say the background update is coming. Don't worry, the stuff I looked into getting to make the background look better is now here, so get ready for that, get excited for that. It's coming in the next few videos. But let's quickly start off with the preseason game overview against the Houston Texans. The Detroit Lions concluded their preseason showing with a 26-7 loss to the Houston Texans on August 23rd of 2025 at Ford Field. Rookie wide receiver Isaac Tesla scored the Lions' only points with a touchdown reception from quarterback Kyle Allen in the first quarterback, which looked so sweet. It was just a straight go route. He went up and grabbed it because that kid's got glue on his hands and immediately went into the dopest worm celebration I've ever seen. If you haven't seen it, you should absolutely go and watch that. It was so funny to watch. It was really cool. I have such good hopes for him. Houston's quarterback Graham Mertz from the offense impressed, bringing a significant halftime lead for the Texans, while the Lions' depth players struggled to really make their mark in this game. The quarterback Mertz led 3 scoring drives, securing a 16-7 halftime lead for the Texans. But Tesla showed his strong preseason showing and continued to show it, showing that he has really good chemistry with Kyle Allen, which just means for me at least that if he's got good chemistry with Kyle Allen, a guy like Jared Goff and him are just going to be two peas in a pod. Jared Goff being able to drop any sort of those long balls to him, as long as he continues to come down with every ball like he's got Gorilla Glue on his hands, they're going to be fantastic together. This game honestly did expose some depth problems that the Lions have at certain positions. Many players in the bubble for this 53-man roster just weren't performing as expected, and that's not good going into the season because now I'm starting to realize some of our depth guys who might have to take that next step up, it's going to be a situation kind of like last year where if they do have to go up, we're already screwed. So I am a little worried about that, but there were guys performing and there were guys doing their parts in previous games. So, not everyone's going to have a perfect game. I'm not too worried about that. But let's be honest, Kyle Allen's impressive preseason showing has finally put him firmly in the lead for backup quarterback on this team, and I'm not too mad about it. Carson Wentz just signed with the Vikings, which they do need a backup, so that works with that. I think Kyle Allen's just going to be our backup for the season. I think if Goff goes down in general, we're already in trouble because he's our guy. So it's not like the backup quarterback we're going to have. It's just going to be better than Goff or even be on Goff's level. So in this case, Kyle Allen, the way he's been performing, especially with some of these receivers, he's hit some good balls. He's been doing good at protecting the ball in the pocket. I'm not too worried about that. Hopefully he just continues to do it if we need him, but it looks like Kyle Allen's going to be the backup quarterback. So I'm not sure about that. There are some guys who I'm not sure are even going to make the roster, but that kind of just leads us perfectly into our second topic of the day, where we are talking about who's even in danger of being cut off the team. So some stuff I want to worry about now is players I like who are going to probably be gone. So there's some players on the bubble right now who a lot of fans are worried won't make the Detroit Lions final roster cut, and that includes Hendon Hooker, Ian Kennelly, Nate Lynn, Dominic Levitt, Broderick Martin, Jackson Meeks, and Isaac Ukwu. So as we know, Hendon Hooker, we've talked about him 1,000 times on this channel, but he's this former high round pick. He's got a better chance that it might a better chance to succeed. It was definitely a risk. It didn't really work out, but based on what a lot of people are saying right now, it seems like he's going to stay on the team for another year as the quarterback 3. I guess we're just not in a position right now to go hunting for another quarterback to take that roster spot. It's easier if we just have him. Sure. And apparently from his practice performances, he has earned the right to be as the quarterback 3. I don't know. He hasn't shown us anything in these preseason games for the most part, besides a few flashy plays, but that does not necessarily make you the guy. And they're saying that he's going to stay and he's going to continue to play on this team, even though we haven't really seen it in games. And I wouldn't be surprised at this point if we do keep him for another year, let him develop a little more, I guess. He's already past the point of really developing, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see till roster cuts come out. Ian Kennelly is that undrafted athletic free agent with the potential, but he's going to probably have a harder time making the roster due to some of his injury issues he had before the preseason started and the depth at safety right now. So there are some guys that we brought in to fill those roles, and it seems like Ian Kennelly right now just isn't up to that level yet that some of these other backups are. So he might be a guy to look at who probably might get cut at the end of the season, which obviously makes me a little sad because GVSU, come on, go Lakers. But you got to do what's right for the team. One guy that really makes me sad here is Broderick Martin. He's definitely on the radar now. He was one of our original top end picks. Got him out of NC State. huge wingspan, huge build, but super athletic. Injuries have just kept him off of the field for the last few years, and it's just been a series where we've just waited and waited and waited, and then he gets his chance this year. Oh, hurts his foot out for a little bit. Then he gets back in and plays some preseason games. Doesn't really do anything. Just one of these kind of disappointing stories with a guy you had a lot of hope for, right? This was finally his year to jump in with the lack of defensive tackle depth. And then we bring some more guys in knowing that he's not really going to be the guy, which is it's upsetting because I really had high hopes for him. It just doesn't look like he showed enough in the last few years to honestly have enough leeway on his side to stay here. I hope that he goes somewhere and just has a crazy breakout season, honestly. And it's not me rooting for the enemy. It's just rooting for this guy who I've had such high hopes for. I think he can do it. Like he's the talent, the build. He could absolutely do it. He just hasn't gotten the right opportunities here yet. So I think he's honestly going to get cut from this roster, which sucks because we are lacking at defensive tackle, but it's not like he's necessarily going to be a good throw-in guy anyways. So hopefully he goes somewhere and just ends up being great. But I am a little disappointed that Broderick Martin might not be here. Dominic Levet, a guy that we drafted sixth round, not sixth round, because we got Hassani in the sixth round. We got him late this year in the draft from Georgia. I think he is perfect for a special teams role, especially with Kali Freeman getting older. I swear we just put him on punt return or kick return and just let him get good at that because he's got the speed and he's got the size and the build. But knowing the Lions don't keep that many receivers that often, it's usually about 4, maybe 5. I am worried that he is going to get let go for not making that roster spot. Hopefully they just keep him on special teams, though. I think that's where he has his real big chance to shine on this team, but we're not too sure yet. It's going to be he's another one of those guys where we're just going to have to wait till the announcements come and see what they end up doing with him. But I think Levet has a good chance to keep developing. He's got a high ceiling. His speed is great. His vision is great. He's got a bit of an issue with dropping passes, whatever. So did J-Mo, though. You got to keep that in mind. So if we put him on special teams and just let him stay on the team and earn that spot, I feel like we can see some good stuff from him. And then finally, Jackson Meeks, who honestly has been so impressive in this preseason with his catches, his yardage, his ability to get open in these preseason games. But it's not this. It's the same reason with Levet, right? We don't keep very many receivers, so Jackson Meeks' position is kind of in jeopardy here, knowing that we already have St. Brown, J-Mo, Tim Patrick, maybe? Kali Freeman's definitely going to be staying as a special team, that gadget player. So it's like, are we even going to bother keeping this guy for that position? I think he's honestly just in danger of being gone because of the position he plays in. But I think he's absolutely shown a ton, and he deserves to go somewhere else and be great because he has honestly shown he can play at this level despite it just being preseason games. He's still playing at a good level, and he's playing consistently. I would like to see him go to a different team who's in desperate need of a receiver and just give him some chances, show him some looks. I think he could honestly be pretty good in this league, but that's just me. That's from what I've seen. And that's that on that. Let me know what you guys think. Am I wrong about Hendon Hooker? Is he just going to be gone? Ian Kennelly, do you think we just need to keep him for that safety depth? Broderick Martin, do we keep him for one more year now that he's kind of getting play time? Or is it time to cut our ties with him and just go to someone better despite the defensive tackle depth? Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to hear your takes, and I love when you guys give them to me. We're going to move on to our third topic of the day, where we are talking about the defense's biggest weakness, in my opinion. So this is the big topic I want to talk about today, especially with our schedule this season. This is big to talk about. So running quarterbacks, dual threats, pure runners, destroy our defense and have a history of destroying our defense. And I want to tell you why. Let's start off with Lamar Jackson. He has played the Detroit Lions twice in his entire career, but in those 2 games, he's held a 2-0 record against us. In those games, he has passed for 644 yards. He's had 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception, with an average passing rating of 117.3. He's also rushed for a total of 94 yards and scored a rushing touchdown against us in 2 games. That is not good. I remember watching the Ravens game from 2 years ago, and it was just so hard to watch. Our defense couldn't get to him. He would get to the outside and just be gone, or he'd make passes happen. He'd have 20 seconds to throw a pass. Not good at all. Jalen Hurts played the Detroit Lions in 2 NFL games as well, going 2-0 in those matchups as well. Starting to see a little pattern here. He had a combined 346 passing yards to 161 rushing yards, so the rushing yards there a lot more. And in the most recent game on September 11th of 2022, Hurts had 243 passing yards, 90 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown to win 38-35 in a shootout game. Another one there. Eagles, especially with their good defense, if we're going to let their quarterback run all over us, we might as well just go home. Even in a shootout like this game where we did have the advantage over the defense, they still had a way to get it done because in those key positions where we need to hold them, we need to get a stop, we just tend to let the quarterback do whatever he wants. And then finally, Jaden Daniels, who, if you know, you know, in his game against the Lions, 299 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 22 for 31, 0 interceptions, and 51 rushing yards for a quarterback rating of 122.9. These rushing quarterbacks, these dual threat quarterbacks, just have their way with us. Just have their way with us. And it's such a big key issue. If we're going to be good against the Russian quarterbacks this year, and we're playing a few, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, we're getting our run back against, we're going to need to be able to contain these guys. And it's easier said than done, but what are we going to have to do? Jack Campbell, he's going to have to be a big part of this. Jack Campbell and Alex Anzalone are going to have to hold it down, just to be so honest with you. It's Hutch's purpose and his job to get in and disrupt that pocket, but these guys know that's going to happen, and they're going to start looking for the outside as soon as it looks uncomfy in that pocket. Alex Anzalone is known for his speed, good in coverage as a linebacker, had a great coverage season last year before his broken arm. He's going to be, and he's the oldest guy we got there on that linebacker core. He's going to have to really step up and be that guy that makes it to the edge, that makes these plays. But if not him, who? We have a young guy in Jack Campbell we took super early in the draft a couple of years ago. We need him. We need to rely on him not only for his ability to stop the run, but we put him on a quarterback spy and he just follows that quarterback everywhere. We need to consistently have spies on these guys. I mean, it's like, again, it's hindsight, right? It's looking down on the game afterwards. But I'm saying these are serious stats that we need to look at because it is the reason we get killed in these games. I am not looking forward to the Ravens game this year. I am looking forward to the Commanders game because I want to get our lick back, but I'm not looking forward to seeing Jane Daniels run around in the pocket for 15 seconds with nobody tackling him, and then he'll just make a crazy 30-yard pass down the field for a completion and maybe a touchdown, depending on who even catches it. That's just kind of the luck we've had in that stats. And hopefully our linebackers can really pull it together. It's going to be huge for them this year. Hoping Kelvin Shepard realizes that as a former linebackers coach with us, and we're prepared for these games because he's going to have to be, or else we're going to get made looks. After the season we've had, we're going to look silly against some of these teams. I'm just telling you guys right now. If you took Lamar Jackson in fantasy, get ready for a big week. Hopefully he doesn't have a big week, despite the fact that I do have him in a league, but honestly, we're going to have to really contain these guys. Sorry, I'm talking about this one so much. This to me is just one of those absolutes, these must improve on kind of stats. But let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think we'll be better against the run this year or the quarterback scramble this year after not dealing with it so well in the past few years? Or do you think it's going to be the same thing where our defense is just with running that man coverage, we're just not going to really be able to hold them where we need them? Let me know what you guys think. We're going to move to our fourth and final topic of the day when we are just talking about viewer comments, just some viewer comments, and because you guys had some good ones for me. 21 Nixon Me 6 says, 21 Nicks on me 6, whatever you pronounce it as, says, I agree with getting Za'Darius, but most of us do. It looks like he and his woman are getting back together, and it looks like his nephew has a real strong chance of making the team. It couldn't be any more perfect for him. Not to mention Hassanin's injured and Davenport is injury prone. It's hard to say who will get cut or sent to practice squad for him, but worth it. Totally agree with you. That whole thing with his lady, I don't know. They broke up for a little bit online, and I guess now they're back together. That was a worry now because he's like, well, if she lives in Detroit, he doesn't want to be here or whatever. But he's expressed how much he does want to be here. And I think at this point, whoever we are sending to the practice squad is just going to be not as good as him anyways. So why does it really matter? Especially with our guy who I wanted to develop in Hassanin being out. It doesn't even really bother me at this point. Absolutely grab him there. Thank you so much for your comment. Superman24 says, I disagree about your SOL comment. I would kill to win a Super Bowl and be crappy for 10 years after. At least we would have that memory of being great for that 1 year. Those that would say SOL would just be haters. There have been 59 Super Bowls and we have yet to make one. That's truly disappointing. I hear you here, Superman. I really, really hear you here. But we were so good last year, and I still remember how great we were last year. Injuries absolutely plagued us in the offseason. Playoffs weren't what we wanted it to be. Everyone thought it was our Super Bowl year. But I will always remember how we were last year. The trick plays, the lineman touchdown attempts. Like, that was fantastic to watch, and I won't forget that. I totally see what you're saying, though. You watch for so long, you do just want to have that to be able to say, hey, we're Super Bowl champs. Don't talk to me. We're not crap. We're not trash. But at the same time, if I would have to go back and watch my team just lose every game over and over and be able to say, oh, well, we have a Super Bowl. That to me just seems so ingenuine. I don't know. I'd want to still be good afterwards. I think that's what makes a good team great. The Chiefs and their dynasty, right? It's like they're great because they can be good after the fact. Just what I'm saying, but I see what you're saying. I think having a Super Bowl in general would be worth it to me, though. Thank you for your comment, Superman24. And finally, Nemesis Breaks says, Dick Night Train Lane or Darius Slay in their prime for their players they'd want on this team now. Darius Slay, awesome. Totally agree. Darius Slay would be so tough back on the Lions. For a second, I did want to re-sign him last year, but whatever. Night Train Lane, crazy pull. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. That's such a good pull. And I think him on the cornerback room right now would be so sweet. He was just one of those hard hitters, knock a dude out kind of player. And especially with the man coverage we run, he would be so sweet. And that's such a great pull. Thank you so much, Nemesis Breaks, for your comment. I love that one a lot. I just wanted to include it. Night Train Lane, if you don't know him, look him up. Detroit legend back when we won championships. With that being said, we are out of time today. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Lions Latest. If you made it to this point in the video, tell me what you guys thought about the preseason game and who you think might not make the roster, or who you disagree with me saying will make it. I just want to know what you guys think. I do appreciate all you say. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell so you never miss a single video. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.